Alrighty, folks. He was a hit last week. The one and only Bo Eckstein is a hit. He talks about getting you funding for small business deals. We just talked about in video number 1, starting something from scratch. In this episode, we're going to do the Cody Sanchez model, which is buy an existing business. So, Bo, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a returning and weekly guest. We've got to get you featured on the One Rental at a Time website going forward, but we'll do that next. Tell us about buying an existing business. What do you want to hear from folks when they schedule a call?
All right, great. So an existing business is a business that's been established for 2 years or greater.
Okay.
And typically what we're going to ask for from the seller, a lot of people, when they get a deal, they get the P&Ls, but no. SBA guidelines, we need 3 years of their business tax returns and a year-to-date interim statement. That's what we need from the seller. We need to underwrite off tax returns.
So usually, now, why would you need to write off tax returns, Bo? Come on, why you need to do that?
Because a lot of times their P&Ls don't correlate to their
shocking. Tell me it's not true, Bo. Come on. I'm
it's amazing. It's amazing what I see and how people hide money in their tax returns. But essentially, that's what we need from the seller and from you, the borrower or the sponsor. We're going to need a form, which is called Form 413, which is a SBA personal financial statement. I'm going to need 3 years of tax returns from you. If you have any other businesses that you own, I'll need a debt schedule, a management resume, a resume about you, 3 years of projections. I have a little template for it. Usually we want the SBA wants the first 12 months broken out by month to month, and then year 2 and 3, just the year in general. Okay. That's the initial doc set really that I look for on a business acquisition. That's typically enough for me to go get you a term sheet from a bank. So once you have a term sheet, that typically means it's been checked for SBA eligibility from their eligibility department. The BDO, which is the business development officer at the bank, has vetted the deal and wrote up what we call a credit memo. Mm-hmm. And then usually they have a credit supervisor sign off saying, yeah, this is a doable deal. We send the term sheet out to you, the borrower. If you like what you see, you sign it and return it. If it's a real estate deal, we typically need a retainer or deposit that goes to the bank, which covers the appraisal and phase 1. Phase 1 is an environmental that's always required on any CRE deals with SBA.
So in video number 1, we talked about starting new. We talked about if it's less than 51%, I believe, real estate, it's a 10-year term. Over 51% or 51 and over, it's a 25-year term. Is that the same deal for buying existing businesses? You got 10 or 25, or is there something different?
So with commercial real estate, if the value of the commercial real estate composes 51% or greater of the purchase price, it'd be amortized over 25 years.
Okay.
If it's less than it, then it's amortized typically, between 13 to 17 years, depending on the percentage breakup of the deal.
All right. And again, buying existing businesses, kind of the same loan limits. You want to be 150 and above. Is that where we're playing today?
Yeah. So with SBA, we can do on a 7A, we can do loans, SBA loans up to 5 million. So you can have several loans, an aggregate amount up to 5 million.
Okay.
Now, I just want to throw in something because we do get a lot of these borrowers. Somebody's buying an established business. It's a manufacturing company. It's a $9 million deal. Well, how do I do it? I only get 5 million. I work with banks that do what's called pari passu. So if it's a strong deal, they'll do 5 million in SBA proceeds, and they'll do $2-3 million in a conventional loan. So we're able to get you 85-90% total project cost of these more expensive businesses is up to about $10 million with that program. If you're buying businesses $20 and $50 million, that's not an SBA product.
Yeah,
that's going to be we do have banks that we work with that handle those kind of mergers and acquisitions. Now let me just go into 504s. 504s, we can do deals up to $18 million between the first and second piece.
Wow. So again, folks, obviously Bo Eckstein is the guy for this. I have no idea what half of the stuff he just said is, but good news. I don't have to know what he said. You get to reach out to him. Bo will do it again at the end, but how are people reaching out to you if they're talking about buying an existing business?
My name, boeckstein.biz. That's BEAUECKSTEIN.biz.
And the other thing I want to talk about buying with existing businesses, this is something I would certainly do, and I know Cody Sanchez talks about this a lot, is I would definitely try to get the seller to carry something. And obviously I would ask them to carry something most likely in a junior position. So what are we talking total combined loan to value? What are some thresholds we could do if the seller is willing to take back, either get payments or not get payments? It's just a balloon payment. How can we use seller financing to increase leverage?
Well, this is customary in business acquisition. You see a lot more seller financing than you do in real estate, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And so a typical structure is on a business acquisition, bank is going to lend 90% of total project costs, which includes SBA guarantee fees. It includes working capital, includes all these other costs, not just the purchase price that we can build in for total project costs. We're going to lend 90% of that. Now on this $1 million deal, right? So we're going to do a loan for 900,000. Well, I don't have 100 grand. Okay, well, let's figure this out. How can we make this work? Seller, I need you to leave 5% in seller carryback. It has to be on what we call full standby, which means it can accrue interest, but you can't have a balloon payment. It's got to be for the term of the loan.
Okay.
Okay. What just took place though is it used to have to be for the full term. They just changed the guidelines, and now only has to be for 2 years on full standby.
Oh wow.
So this is huge.
Right.
So he or she carries back 5% on full standby. Now I need to come up with 5%. I need 50 grand to buy this $1 million business. That's net cash
spitting
flow,
off 100 grand. Yeah, whatever.
Right,
yeah.
200, right? Okay, well, I don't have the 50 grand. I have like 40 grand in my name, and I need that for reserves.
Right.
Well, okay. Well, Zuber has some dry powder. Zuber, I'm going to give you 18% ownership in this business. You don't have to. You're not a guarantor. You're an owner. It's not a loan. You get cash flow. You get equity. Will you put up this 50 grand? Yeah, I like you. I like the business. I like the financials. Yes. Boom. I just walked into this business with zero out of pocket. I could do that all day long.
And all you had to do is give up 18%, get the seller to take 18% of the business, your example. That's what I'll get in this example. The seller takes back, I'll call a silent second for a minimum of 2 years, no payments, and you get 90% from a bank. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I would have probably negotiated about 5 to 7%. Well, we'd have to figure it out, but I would just.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing with it. It's a nice example.
Just
I like the example.
Grease in your pocket a little bit.
Yeah. I like you that much. You know what? I'll take 12. I'll be good with 12.
There you go.
So again, this is why you're here, right? You are the concierge to one rental at a time, folks, looking at small businesses. I hope that people are out there looking. Cody Sanchez is doing an awesome job spinning up interest, but debt is important. And that's why you're here. That's what you're going to bring every week. Where are we sending people? If you have some closing thoughts, go ahead. I think I cut you off. No,
you're good. I'm just saying, like, where can you structure deals? It's amazing where you're buying a business that's been around for 20 years. It's got a track record. You've done your due diligence. You're basically stepping. And the best part would be if there was a manager that was really running the whole operation and you're really just doing overseeing and more like CFO work, if that, and you're buying a cash flow stream. So it's an amazing opportunity. And I think we're kind of in like this 3 to 5 year run of just amazing amount of these businesses changing hands. So exactly. I definitely think it's worth everybody to look for. And the nice thing is that even though you can't buy like multifamily with SBA because it's considered investor, they consider self-storage as a business. So you can buy self-storage, you can buy motels. If you're an Airbnb operator, we're doing a campground right now. You can, nice. We're doing a winery with short-term rentals on it. So as long as it's not like a single family home with an Airbnb on it, that's not really eligible. But I've got people buying up in, Big Bear. They're buying like 8 or 9 cabins and they're getting SBA financing for that. A motel, restaurants. Nice. It's amazing. But you can go to boeckstein.biz and go to One Rental at a Time. Click on that, takes you to the calendar. That's boeckstein.biz.
Very, very cool, folks. In video number 3, we're going to talk about some of the phone calls that people have already reached out to Bo and just break down some of these self-storage hotels, wineries, just to whet your appetite about what is possible. Bo, amazing stuff. Thank you for being here, being the concierge to One Rental at a Time. Appreciate you.
Thank you.